get started just like we usually do here. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, really elongate through that spine, feel those vertebrae stack over one another, chin tucks back for 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's reset. Find that length again. Okay, we're going to do our head turns, 10 total, 5 each side. 1, back to center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. So first part of our workout here is the continuation of our warm-up. So we are going to do, excuse me, our 2 moves that are going to be through the circuit, and I want to warm up with them so that we're ready for them when they're in our circuits to come. So one of them is brand new for us, and it's going to be our, excuse me, 1 second, I feel like my feet are not on here. Sorry about that. Okay, it's going to be a squat with a rotation. So here's what I want you to think about it, all right? My feet are at 12 o'clock towards you right now, okay? 12 o'clock on the clock. We're gonna come out to my side here. This is my right side. I'm bringing my foot out to 3 o'clock, and then I squat down and bring it up. Then I'm gonna bring it back to 12. Then I'm gonna step it out to 9 o'clock. Okay, so my toes are in the direction of those, and then I'm gonna bring it back to center. Okay, so it's this slight rotation in our squat. Okay, so we're gonna warm up with it, and then we're gonna bring it in later. Okay, all right, so we're gonna start with that transverse squat. Just take your time. We're gonna do this for 1 minute. Just think about your clock and your 3 o'clock and your 9 o'clock as you step and slightly rotate. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so feet are center at 12. I'm going to 9 o'clock on here on my left side. Squat, drive up. It's my 3 o'clock. Just focus on the movement pattern. We're in a learning phase with this one. Keep it nice and slow. Twenty more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. Good. Our next one is going to be an ITY. Our thumbs are going to be up, and we're going to go into an I shape. So I'm hinged over slightly here, slight little soft knee. Thumbs up towards the ceiling to I, thumbs out to the sides to T, and thumbs out somewhere in between to Y, okay? And then let's come up. Hinge, I, T, Y, up. Hinge, I, T, Y, up. Five more seconds. And time. Okay, guess what? We're going to go back to those rotational squats here. So feet are at 12. Okay, here we go. I'm starting coming in from my left, so I'm going to 9 o'clock, squatting down, and then bringing that foot back to 12. And I'm going to 3 o'clock. Right, so those feet kind of make like a 90-degree angle direction there, right? Because when you think of 12, and 3 or 12 and 9 and the center of the clock. This makes that 90-degree angle. Two and 1. Okay. One more set of ITY here, okay? Push those hips back. Okay, soft knee, core is engaged here, thumbs up to an I, thumbs out to a T, and thumbs up to a Y somewhere in between your I and T. I, T, Y. Show it from the front here too. I, T. Five more seconds. And time. Last exercise move here. We're going to bring the heart rate up a little bit. Knee raises. Exhale. Blow that air out of your stomach. Think of it as a standing crunch, right? So curl, curl, curl. Okay, so kind of rounding through my abs here. Exhaling that breath out of my belly. We've got 20 more seconds left here. Can you pick it up a little? Woo, 10 more seconds. 5, 2, and time. Good job. Okay, guys, that was our warm up. So, our first block here, we are doing a those first 2 moves, the ITY and the transverse squat or the rotational squat. Okay, so the warm-up moves we just did are ITY and then our rotational squat. And if you're seated for that rotational squat, you can do this. You can look at your feet here, right? And do the same thing from your seated position, 12 to 9 and 12 to 3, okay? And then our last one is a single dumbbell press to tricep extension. Okay, so you can do this seated or standing. All right, we're gonna hold our dumbbell long ways or a water bottle, or even just do this body weight if overhead is painful and you're just looking to work on mobility of your joints. Press, tricep extension, bring it back. Press, tricep extension, bring it back, okay? I'm gonna do this one seated. I think I like the way this one feels seated. Maybe give it a try seated with me here, okay? All right, so that's our first 3 exercises, our ITY, our transverse squat, and our rotational squat, and our press to extension. We're going to do our standard 45-15. We're gonna go back to our ITY. This time we're gonna stay down the whole time. We're not gonna come up, okay? So we're just gonna stay in that hinged position. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So either underneath those hips, slightly open, thumbs up, thumbs out, thumbs in between. This is a good exercise for posture and shoulder health. Keep that belly button pulled in towards the core or towards the spine as we do this movement. You're looking at some point on the floor in front of you where your neck maintains neutral position with your spine. and time. Good. We're gonna go back to that transverse squat now. You have the option to add some weight here, okay? So 12, and then 3, and 12, and then 9, or vice versa, okay? Here we go. Ready? And begin. Keeping that belly button pulled back towards the spine. Really driving through your heels. So come back up to standing. Engage those glutes. 10 more seconds. And time. Okay, I'm gonna go for a seated variation here. I'm suggesting that everybody try this one seated first. Think of our elongated spine here. One dumbbell, okay? We're gonna press up. We're gonna tricep extension, back up and down. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. 2 and 1. Okay, that was round 1. We're gonna go back to the top. We're starting with our ITY, so we're working our back here, okay? Thumbs up. Let's get ready and begin. I, T, Y. Think of the muscles in the upper back. Keeping that belly button pulled back. Just 5 more seconds here. And time. Excellent. Back to that rotational squat. I'm gonna hold a dumbbell long ways if you'd like to add some resistance here. Ready? And begin. Step it up to 3. Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you need, if that movement pattern is getting a little tricky for you, count it out. That'll help. Belly button pulled back. And time on those. Okay, next one. We're back to our seated single dumbbell press to extension in 3, 2, and 1. So keep that spine lengthened here. We're sitting up nice and tall through our body. And again, if your shoulders are a little tight, they don't weight overhead, maybe see about doing this by weight, press, extend, press, and down, okay? To see if you can work on that range of motion and mobility through your joint without adding that external load from the dumbbell. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay. We've got one more round and then we move on. Last set of our ITY. Thumbs are up. Okay. You're standing. We're hinging through the hips and keeping a soft knee. Core is engaged. Here we go. 2, Y. Think about your upper back, backs of your shoulders here. We're also getting a stretch through the front of our chest and shoulders as well. Make sure that whole time you're actively trying to pull that belly button back. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, final set of our rotational squats here, with or without weight. Starting with our toes facing 12 o'clock. Ready. And begin. Step to 3, lower down, drive through my heels, come back to 12. Step to 9, sink it down, drive through the heels, back to 12. Good, less than 10 seconds. And time. Okay, final exercise in this first block. Are seated single dumbbell press to extension. Ready? Nice and tall through that spine. Keep the belly button pulled back. Right, we want to check in with our trunk of our body to make sure we're not rounding, okay, through our back. We're trying to maintain that space between every vertebrae. Three, 2, and 1. Excellent work. All right, take a little break here. We're going to go into, just like last week, a 2-minute Tabata. And what our 2 exercises are going to be are pretty much the same as last week, where we're going to do our slip rope squat. So we're stepping over and under. Okay, over and under that imaginary rope. And then we are going to do our ham curls. And today we're going to do palms up pullbacks. Okay, if you have a pair of 1-pound dumbbells and you want to, like a very light pair of dumbbells, and you want to hold them as you pull back here, you can do that. Okay, it's not necessary, but you can. And we're going to be doing a Tabata style. So we're doing, or I'm sorry, 30 seconds and 10 for 2 rounds, I think. Yes, 30 seconds each for 2 rounds. Okay, 2-minute cardio burst here. We're going to start with our slip rope squat. If you're seated, we're still going to do those lateral taps we were doing for transverse, our rotational squat. And then, or no, I'm sorry, yours is the over and under your wad, and you're coming here. Okay, so you get this nice stretch through the back. Okay, and then for our second one, just like this. Okay, all right, guys, we're going into 30 seconds of back-to-back work here. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, and run. Or slip rope squat. Remember, choose an intensity that feels challenging, but that you're in control of, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Okay. Ham curls. Keeping these palms up with or without the weights helps us get into our biceps a little more here. 2 and 1. Back to that slip rope squat. Here we go. Under and over. Feel how your weight shifts from one leg to the other, right? There's a moment in time where you're just balancing on one leg as the non-working leg is coming over to meet the working leg. I'm gonna feel your heart rate elevated here. That's the point. We're trying to get a little cardio burst here. Time, here we go. Last 30 seconds. Five, 2, and 1. Okay, nice work. Just a little burst. And we're gonna go back into some 45-15 work, strength work here. Woo, felt that one, guys. All right. So our next one is going to be a suitcase squat. Okay, so we're going to have our dumbbells on either side. My knuckles are facing either wall. Okay, they're out to the side. Okay, from here, my feet are about shoulder width apart to hip width apart. Suitcase squat. Okay, what's important here is to think where your body should stop. Okay, you should stop where your back stays neutral right here. Okay, and then drive up. Okay, if you feel this happening, right, we don't want that. We don't want to put undue stress in our lower back. Okay, so push the hips back, keep that belly button pulled back to the spine, drive up wherever that range of motion is. Okay, suitcase squat. Then we're going to go into hammer curls. Okay, so those knuckles are still out to the side. If you need to, you could always alternate, okay, if it feels too intense. And then our last one is a neutral grip press. Same idea here. If you need to alternate that, you can do that just like this, okay? So for all three of those movements, our hand position doesn't change, okay? All right, so you can alternate your weights throughout if you need to, okay? But that hand position stays the same. We're gonna start with our suitcase squat. If you're seated, you're gonna give me your alternating leg extensions. Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Feet are about hip to shoulder width apart. Side view. Keep that neutral spine. You're really elongating through the spine. Thinking of that belly button being pulled back towards the spine. Looking at a point on the floor that keeps your neck in good alignment with your spine. Almost there. 5, 2, and 1. Good. Woo. Hammer curls are coming up next. Seated or standing. Roll the shoulders back and down. Keep the glutes engaged here. Here we go. Remember, an option here, if it starts to feel like your form is going because it's just too much, see if you can alternate, okay? Alternate those repetitions, or maybe you just need to take a little recovery break and get back to it when you can. Past halfway. Whew. 5 more seconds here. 2 and 1. Good. Recover. Tough ones coming up here next. We have our neutral grip press. And if you need an option here, give me a lateral raise, okay? A little less overhead work here. Otherwise, keeping that core engaged, squeezing those glutes. Past halfway. Three, 2, and 1. Whew. Round 1. Go ahead and get a drink. Back to suitcase squats here. Okay. Feet are hip to shoulder width apart. Ready? And begin. Pulling that belly button back, especially when I'm lowering down. We want those abs nice and embraced here. Driving up through the heels of my foot. Feel that glute activation. Five seconds. 2 and 1. Recover. We're going into our bicep curls next. Whew. Seated or standing. Ready? Begin. So if I'm standing, I'm really squeezing my glutes. I'm making sure that my trunk is a nice stable base for me to do these hammer curls. It's okay to feel a little uncomfortable in your circuit because you're working hard here. However, listen to your body. This is your workout. You know your body best. If you need a little extra recovery time, you can always stop early or start late with that timer, okay? Five more seconds. 2 and 1. Whew. Recover. We've got neutral grip overhead press next, or you can take it out to a lateral raise here if that feels better, okay? Seated or standing. If you're standing, we're still squeezing those glutes to keep that trunk nice and stable. Go at your own pace so that you can perform reps with quality. Quality of our work is important. More important than getting a lot of reps in, right? If you're getting a lot of reps, but your form's wrong, then it's not really serving purpose for you. Time is valuable. We want to do things correctly. 3, 2, and 1. Good. We've got one more set of that, guys. One more time. Suitcase squat or seated alternating leg extension. If you're getting tired this last round and you just want to do a body weight, that's okay too, okay? There we go. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, well done with those. Recover. Back to our bicep curls next. Seated or standing for these. Core is engaged. If you're standing, you're squeezing your glutes here. Ten more seconds. 2, and 1. Woo-hoo. Okay, overhead pressing, or you can give me a lateral raise, okay? 5 seconds. Let's get ready and begin. Just like with our biceps curls, we're squeezing our glutes. We're standing here to help keep our core engaged. Keeping in mind that the quality of our reps is much more important than the quantity, okay? Two, and 1. All right, nice work. Take a breather here, get a drink. That is our third working block here. So we are going into our 2-minute cardio burst again, and we're doing the same 2 exercises. Okay, so slip rope, okay, getting that lateral work in side to side, okay, and then our ham curls with that palms up, with or without light weights here. That's going to help us get a little bit more into our bicep, along with the ham curl gets us into our hamstring, okay? All right, so back to 30 seconds, back to back, 2 minutes, that's 2 rounds. We're going to start with our slip rope squat. Have those light dumbbells ready if you're using them, okay? Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. So under and over that imaginary rope. Slipping right under it, right? Three, 2, 1, okay. Going into those ham curls with those palms up, pullbacks. Three, 2, 1, right into our slip rope. You don't have to hold the weight here if you're using weights. I just didn't feel like putting them down. 10 more seconds here. Time. And then last set of ham curls. That pull back. Palms up. Heels flexed. In the standing position, we have a flexed foot. If you're seated, it's more of a toe tap though. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Okay. Go ahead and recover as our second cardio burst. All right. Last block here. We are doing a single arm row on each side, okay? So you're gonna have that leg on the working arm. That leg is gonna be back. You can hold on to the back of your chair. This is, I'm using a bench right here, it's a little low, but you can use that, but probably more commonly everyone's got a chair here. So right here, okay, so this leg is back, but my hips stay forward, right? You don't want your hips to come towards me, okay? When you're doing this movement, your hips need to stay square towards the floor, okay? We're gonna row into that back pocket, or not back pocket, into this side pocket right here, okay? Like dumbbells coming up towards that pocket. Each side we're gonna row, and then we are going to lunge here, okay? So I'm gonna give you an option today. You can either lateral lunge, okay, and do side lunges, okay? Alternating, so side, step it together, other side, step it together. Or you can do your reverse lunges, okay? You pick which one you wanna do here today, okay? All right, I'm probably gonna pick the reverse lunges for myself, just because I fit on the camera better. Okay, so single arm row, okay? You can do this from your seated position too. Just kind of, so you're kind of getting comfortable on your one side, and you're gonna row up with your other arm. You just kind of have to move that leg out of the way a little bit, okay? All right, so here we go. 45 seconds is going on the clock. Let's get ready in 3, 2, and 1, okay? So remember, we're working the back muscles, the large back muscles here. So I'm thinking about contracting through my lat, which is that large area in the back behind the rib cage. My core tight here. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, 15 seconds to rest. Shake it out. Get ready for the other side. Okay. Woo. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. So my hips are squared. They're both facing the floor. Pulling my belly button back to spine. I'm thinking about my lat muscle contracting as I'm pulling the dumbbell up towards my pocket. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. We're moving on to lunges. Remember, you have an option today. It's your choice. Lateral, right? Or reverse, okay? If you're seated, you can do an alternating seated leg press, okay? Here we go. So remember your options with the chair. You can hold on to the side of the chair here. You can hold on to it with both hands from the front. Or you can choose to just have it near you in case you need it. And maybe you're very advanced and you want to hold a weight as you do this. Quality over quantity. Five more seconds here. In time, good. We're going back to our single arm row, okay? Woo. Get your drinks when you need them, okay? Core is tight. I'm keeping those hips facing forward. Okay, we're not pulling out to the side with our hips. Okay, here we go. Neutral spine and neck. Pulling that dumbbell up towards my pocket. Working the large muscle groups in the back. Your lats, that large area, the back of your rib cage, muscle group there. Two, and one. Ooh, other side. Okay, shake it out. Sometimes the legs from just staying stationary that whole time can feel worked too, okay? Getting ready for the other side here. Into that split stance, keeping those hips forward, core is engaged, pulling the dumbbell up towards the pocket. Trying very hard to get that mind muscle connection. And time. Good. Take your drinks whenever you need them. Don't forget to stay hydrated. All right, here we go. 2 and 1. Remember, you have a choice of lateral lunges or reverse lunges. Quality and control. We're rushing the movement. If we're going really fast, we're letting up. There's a lot of momentum that can guide us, you know, and then we're not getting into the muscle as deeply as we could be. Just 10 more seconds here. We do it one more round. We go into our final finisher. 2 and 1. Woo, okay. Final set here, single arm row. Okay, both sides. Core is engaged, hips are forward, neutral spine and neck. Here we go, pull that dumbbell towards the pocket. Five seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, good. Shake it out to even out and get that other side, okay? Okay, let's start getting ready. Split stance, hips forward, neutral spine, belly button pulled back. Start pulling the dumbbell towards the pocket. Three, 2, and 1. One more set of lunges. Okay, so again, you can do reverse or lateral, you have an option today. I'm gonna stick with these reverse just because I like that I'm fully on the camera, okay? All right, here we go, ready, begin. Back, past halfway. And time. All right, nice job, guys. Recover, get another drink. We are going into our finisher. Whew. It's gonna be a Tabata. 4 minutes, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of recovery time in between, okay? So we're going to do the first 2 moves we did in our 30, our slip rope, squat, okay? And then our other one was that palms up ham curl for 20 seconds, okay? And then the next 2 sets of 20 with a 10-second rest. It's going to be the same exercise, but we'll get a little 10-second rest in between, okay? We're gonna work on knee raises, right? We're taking that back, forward knee out. Put that back in if you need it to adjust your intensity to bring it down a bit. But this is significantly more challenging because we're not giving this before we have to hike that knee up again. This is gonna get deep into our core. We'll be moving our shoulders too, which means that our heart rate is gonna be going up. And we're doing 2 sets back to back with that 10 seconds recovery in between, okay? So just follow my lead here and we can make adjustments as need be as you, are feeling the intensity, okay? You can bring it back, rest a little more, but we're gonna start slip rope squats, okay? Let's get ready and begin, okay? So this is just 2 rounds of these 3 exercises. Remember, they're only 20 seconds each. And the idea here is to just push a little bit harder because we're not going for as long. And that helps to build and increase your intensity. 3, 2, 1, good. Ham curl kickbacks in 3, 2, and 1. Palms up here. You can weight in 1 pound here, or you could just keep a body weight, either is fine. Three, 2, 1, good. 2 sets now of our alternating knee raise with that pull down, okay? Ready? And begin. Go at your own pace. And if you find that it's better for you to do the back, forward knee, then that's fine too, okay? Again, this is all about making a workout routine that's unique and tailored to you. Time, 10 seconds rest, but we're not done with that exercise. We're gonna do it again, okay? 3, 2, and 1, here we go. Ten more seconds. Feel that second set. 2, and 1, good, okay. Slip rope squats. This is our last round here now, okay? Ready? And begin. Under and over. 3, 2, 1. Whoo, ham curls. That palms up kick back. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. 2, and 1. Okay. 2 sets of our alternating knee raise with that pull down. 3, 2, and 1. Time. Whew. Got to do it again now, right? It's our last 20 seconds of work right here. Let's get ready. 3, 2, and 1. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, nice work. Recover here. We are all done. We're going to do a quick stretch out here. Okay. Get a drink first. And then let's start with a side step to overhead reach. A little bit of dynamic stretch for the shoulders. Good. Okay, and then from here, let's do a cat-cow. Okay, so another dynamic stretch. You can either sit and have your palms on your, you can even stand and have your palms on your knees, right above your knees like this, or you can place them on your chair and arch and tuck that thoracic spine. Good, come on up from that. From here, let's do a seated figure 4 stretch, okay? Flex that foot that's on top. Right, I'm trying to feel that stretch to this area of my hips. I'm going to elongate, slightly. Good. From there, let's take this top leg right here, and on that ankle, flex and point for 5. And then circle for 5 each direction. And then the same thing on the other side, figure 4, flex. Feeling that stretch through this area right here on the body. Good. From there, same thing, flex and point for 5. Excuse me. And then circle 5 each direction. Good. We're going to go ahead and end with a nice big inhale up, palms together, exhale the heart. One more time, inhale up, palms together, exhale the heart. All right, thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's workout. That's going to add some extra resistance, right? So anytime you have a little extra resistance, it can be helpful when you're, doing some of our side step exercises and our marching. Ankle weights on the legs are really popular too when you're doing some floor work. I'm not sure in your own exercise, whatever your schedule is during the week. But where I like to use ankle weights the most is if I'm kind of my hips are stacked here, okay? And I'm kind of get my leg in here and I'm leaning on my elbow here. and like I'm doing like a leg raise here, right, to get into my glute med. Okay, so I'll use ankle weights a lot for work like this. But you can do, it probably will increase your heart rate when you do like some cardio moves with them on as well. So they're not a bad thing. It's just the only caveat to that is sometimes when you're doing a lot of movement, like maybe our standing workout here, and you have them on, they can start to rub and get irritating. You know what I mean? Like they feel a little uncomfortable, or if you start to sweat, they feel a little uncomfortable. So either a pair of socks underneath them, if you plan to use them where you're doing more like standing workouts with them. And it's not as important to wear those types of socks if you're doing your like on the floor, lying leg raises and whatnot, because your movement's not as, it's just more controlled on the floor. Sure. So, you're going to work through your individual range of motion. Okay. So where that knee falls when you're crossing over could look different on a lot of different people, just depending on your mobility through your hip. Okay. So keep that in mind. You're not trying to force your body to go in a position to look like somebody else's when you might have two totally different, hip structures, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to do here though, from the seated variation is I'm really trying to think of that marionette string pulling me up nice and straight. I want to feel that space I'm creating in between my vertebrae here. And from that lengthened position, so I have to engage my core for that, right? I'm staying in it and I'm just gently hinging over. So look how small this movement is. And I'm telling you this because this is how far it takes me to move forward to feel this stretch. So I'm trying to stay hinged, and there I am. What was that, like an inch, if that? It was not a lot of forward movement forward to feel that stretch right through here. Now, if it feels a little confusing from a seated variation because you have to like hold yourself up and whatnot, try it from, if getting up and down off the floor is not a lot of fun, okay, and something you don't like to do, maybe try it from your bed, okay, somewhere where you're elevated a little bit and it's not so difficult to get up and down here. But what I love about the floor variety is like you don't have to worry about straightening out your spine because the floor just does it for you because you're laying down, okay? So I'm laying down and this is the same movement, okay? So my feet are bent here. I'm gonna cross my one leg over my other, and then I'm gonna lift up that back leg, and I'm going to try to grab. If you don't have enough range of motion to grab behind your thigh here, you can always get like a robe strap or a resistance band, a TheraBand, or a belt or something of that nature that you can just wrap around to give you, the length that you need. And from here, I'm just pulling that leg in, and it's the same idea. I'm getting that stretch through my piriformis right here. You also feel this a little bit through your sacrum and lower back as well. Okay, so this, that's a wonderful stretch right there. I would say that's probably one of my top 5s for myself. I do really like that stretch. So try this laying down if you feel that you're not sure if you're getting it correctly sitting up, because there's not as much to think about when you're laying down. It just kind of happens, okay?